Hey yo, what is up guys, DPX here, and E3 has begun with Ubisoft and Gearbox. Yeah, Gearbox actually had a presentation today, but it's mostly Ubisoft. But we'll talk about both of them. But before we do that, you know what to do. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, or else I'll send the rabbits after you. And you don't want that. So the first thing is Ubisoft's. And I feel like their presentation was at best and just really bad at worst. Like there was like good stuff. There was good stuff. Stuff that wasn't alright. There's Mario and Rabbids, which I thought was really cool. There's the Avatar game, which was interesting. There's Far Cry 6, which I don't think needed to be there, but what they showed was actually really cool. And then there was also Rainbow Six Extraction. It was previously called Rainbow Six Quarantine, but you know what happened last year. It's kind of understandable why they changed the name. But a lot of it was just updates on games that have been out for months. Hell, some of them have been out for years. Like Brawlhalla, For Honor, Rainbow Six Siege. There's an entire segment about Rainbow Six Siege. There's an entire segment. I get Rainbow Six Siege. They like to update that game. It's sort of like how there's an entire segment on Smash for every like Nintendo Direct, I guess. But like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they spent a lot of time on that game. They spent a lot of time on Rainbow Six Extraction, which of course, you know, that's a new game. But it was weird, they showed like a cinematic trailer, like it was a full-on cutscene, and then they talked about the game, and then they showed a full-on gameplay trailer, like a full match. Like, and I will say the gameplay looks cool, and it's supposed to come out at the end of the year, which is cool, but that's a lot. You spent a lot of time on Rainbow Six Extraction. And then they also spent a lot of time on streaming services, games that have already been out, and movies and TV. Why do you need to have a, like, they not only did they show Mythic Quest, which is a show, they showed a clip from an episode that was already out. I haven't watched the show and I kind of have no desire to, but they said this is what you've been missing if you haven't been watching. So that implies that it's a clip that's in an episode that is already out. So it's not, they didn't even share, they did not put out anything new. And then they showed a trailer for Werewolf Within. And I looked up what Werewolf Within is because I thought they fucking made up a game and had a movie, but no, Werewolf Within is an actual video game by Ubisoft that has not the best reviews. So I don't know why they're making a movie of this, but the trailer was rather self-aware, being like based off the movie you never heard of, or based off the game you never heard, whatever. I don't get necessarily why this was here. This is a gaming presentation, and I get it, it's based off of a video game, but it's not a video game. And they also showed Riders Republic, which I feel like I'm kind of more excited for that game than I should be. It's coming out on September 2nd, so who knows, maybe I might try out that game. But yeah, not a whole lot from Ubisoft. Obviously there was, you know, they still don't have Beyond Good and Evil 2, and they didn't give an update, so a little worrying. They didn't give an update on Skull and Bones, a little worrying. They didn't have Splinter Cell, which I think at this point it's time we stop asking for that. It's not happening. But yeah, that's Ubisoft's. I give it a 5 out of 10. And now it's Gearbox. Now, first off, I don't think Gearbox should have had a press conference, and they had nothing. They basically had a spin-off of Borderlands. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I actually forgot the name of it, so I had to look that up. But Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is, and I haven't played the Borderlands games. I've heard great things about it, so I will probably try them out one day. But from what it seems, they don't seem like this. They don't seem like these mythical fantasy games. So Tiny Tina's Wonderlands seems a little different from Borderlands, but interesting. And then they announced Homeworld 3. We haven't gotten a Homeworld game since 2003. It was weird though, they announced it, and then throughout the presentation they kept being like, oh, you know, Homeworld 3 is now in development. And then they also announced another game, something of Midgard. Forgot what it was called, but it looked fine. It kind of had a mobile game aesthetic to it, and it's coming out on the PS4 and PS5 and Steam though, so I don't know. And then there was some DLC for Godfall. Who gives a shit, really? And then a lot of it was going around showing the set of the Borderlands movie, which again, why is this at E3? So that was basically Gearbox's presentation. I will say this though, the whole stuff about Gearbox University, I thought was really I thought was a nice touch, and it kind of saved the press conference because it made it entertaining. But I don't think Gearbox needed to have a press conference. Like, they usually don't. Was this the first time they've ever had one? They didn't need to have one. Why did they have one? They could have slipped these games in, you know, Microsoft's press conference, or that one at Midgard thing was not announced for Xbox, so they could have slipped this in, you know, maybe the PC Game Show, since that's gonna be on Steam. So, I mean, like, they didn't need to have this press conference. They really didn't. I can't be too mad though, because it's Gearbox. They're a developer that had a 30-minute press conference. I kind of gotta look at it for what it is. So I give it a 4 out of 10. Lower than Ubisoft's, but that's because just by default this didn't really have much. So that was my reviews for Ubisoft Forward and Gearbox's E3. I'll be back tomorrow doing you know, Bethesda and Microsoft, and then Square's, and then maybe Warner Brothers. I didn't know that they were. It's basically just gonna be one big ol' presentation for Back 4 Blood, which is a game I'm really excited for. So I'll probably still tune in, but I don't know if I'll react to it live or if I will even review it. But yeah, that's this. If you like this video, come subscribe, and remember, if you don't subscribe, I will send the rabbits to capture your ass, and you don't want that. Anyways, see you guys.